What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. Marriage Bootcamp, Hip Hop Edition, Episode 2. So, we start this episode off. We have an exercise. I'm going to call it Digging Through the Crates, okay? And one thing I realized as soon as we got into this, the first thing I realized is Bianca and Chosen don't need to be here. They are too young to be going through this much for a relationship with nothing on the line. And what I mean by that is, y'all don't have a child that y'all are fighting for. Y'all didn't get married. Y'all ain't been together that long. Y'all are working too hard. Like when they went in there and they saw all those records, and you heard people like P Styles and his wife talking about, Tower Records and oh man, and when people automatically had memories of walking into a record store and the two of them were looking at each other like, yeah, we gonna have a problem with this exercise because we don't know nothing about albums. That's when you know that y'all too young to be here going through what y'all going through. So the activity was they went shifting through the albums, and they had to come up with their top 5 issues, and then they discussed the first one. Now I'm sure they went through all 5 issues and they edited it down for us to just hear their top issue. So the first issue was Bianca and was it Bianca and hold up. You know what? Did I write it down? Yeah. Bianca and Chosen. Lord, I was like, I write it down. Bianca and Chosen. And hers was not protecting her heart. His was anxiety. And she said not protecting her heart because, basically he doesn't do things to make her feel secure. And he said she gives me anxiety. He talking about some for my phone ringing 500 times in a row. Bianca, that's why your ass ain't had a hit record out. You cannot possibly be focusing on anything else if you have time to call this man 500 times in one day. She said, well, that was when I was pregnant and you were in school and I wanted you to graduate. You couldn't possibly want him to graduate if you was calling him 500 times in one day. At what point did you think he was going to have time to study? Do the math. There are only 24 hours in a day. How many times an hour do you have to actually call somebody to get to 500 times a day? Then the other issue I had with the two of them was, she said we've been pregnant 3 times. 2 of those times we chose to terminate the pregnancy, and the 3rd time we lost the baby. Listen. Whatever birth control y'all are using, it is obviously not working. Because if you got pregnant twice and you chose not to have the child, that means that you're not ready to have a child. And I'm not judging the decision you made, because I think that was a mature decision rather than bring a child into a toxic situation or a situation where neither one of y'all are ready to be parents. But what I'm saying is, when you got pregnant the first time, clearly it was an oops. That means that whatever birth control y'all were using wasn't working. Find something else. There are too many options in the area of birth control for you to continue to get pregnant. So you're not being responsible and you're not making adult decisions. Because if you were being responsible and making adult decisions 3 times in less than 2 years, that's a problem. He said that that's giving him anxiety. So then he didn't want to take responsibility for the stuff she said bothers him. She didn't want to take responsibility for the stuff that he said bothered him. Then they were talking about the social media. That's the second thing that made me realize that y'all are too young to be there. And CeeLo and his girl were like, I can't imagine acting out my problems on social media. Like, some things should be private. Everything doesn't have to be on social media, but we know that we're dealing with a generation that feels like everything they do has to be documented publicly for everybody to see. So they break up online, they cuss each other out online, they fight online. Everything they do is for public consumption. And so Ballistic and Jocelyn. Ballistic said communication. Jocelyn said the past. She said that she feels like, oh, rewind. And when they were going through this, Jocelyn felt like she had to chime in from the peanut gallery, and she had a nerve to call Bianca Toxic. Hello, Pot. I'm Kettle. How you doing? What? Jocelyn, you don't get to call nobody toxic. Ever. I don't give a damn if you're 102. You don't get to call nobody toxic. But Jocelyn said, ballistic, I feel like you blame me for your past. You had a situation where you lost your best friend, and I think that's making you're afraid to move on and move forward and whatever. He said communication is the biggest issue. Yeah. Styles said the arguing and the fighting. His wife said the trust. Again, we know about the infidelity, so ain't no need to rehash that. That's what they need to work on, is building up their trust and building that relationship. Michelet and Stu. Michelet says not attentive enough. Stu said a pawn star because she is constantly pawning me off or trying to pawn me off. Now let me say this. I'm gonna get to Michelet later. I'm gonna address Michelet later, but I don't understand how you can accuse this man of not being attentive enough when he tries to be attentive and he tries to show you he loves you and he tries to show you all these things. You tell him he doesn't really mean it. See, nobody's going to keep dealing with that. Somebody tells you you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, and you keep telling them, no, I'm not. You don't mean it. You're lying. You don't think I'm beautiful. At a certain point, they're going to stop telling you. Whether they stop believing it or not is not the issue. They're going to stop telling you. Like, sometimes you just have to, and I've had that problem, but sometimes you just got to take the compliment. You just got to accept the compliment. Now, Shawnee and CeeLo, oh, they broke me down. Shawnee said communication, CeeLo said disrespect. And what he said was so deep. He said, when I feel disrespected, then I feel the need to disrespect. And then I get angry at you because I blame you for putting me in a situation where I feel like I have to say the things that I know I shouldn't say to you. That then I get, like, basically, then I get mad at myself for saying the stuff I know I shouldn't say. Because I don't want to be that person to disrespect you. It was deep. It was deep. And then Styles said, you know what? Him saying what he got the crying and got emotional, and she got emotional. And then he said, Styles said, hearing him say it and explain it that way, that hit me some kind of way, because then I could understand and empathize with it. And the two of them, and when he sat down, Styles started talking to CeeLo. He said, look, man, he said, I really appreciate what you said because it helped me. I saw myself and heard myself in what you were saying to her. And it helped me understand things from my childhood and, understand some other things that are coming into play. And, he got to crying, saying he didn't want to be that person anymore. And CeeLo was crying. It was a moment. Like, it was a moment. And that's when you know that people, and that's why I say Bianca and Chosen don't have nothing to fight for. Because you see these people, they are fighting. These men are fighting. He said, I love you. CeeLo said, I love you more than I love myself. Like, these men are fighting for this. Like, look. I'm mad that it took me so long to get into this, because this is hitting me, like, for real. Like, these couples are really working on something here. It's like they're not here for no bullshit. They really working on something here. So they broke for the moment, for lunch or whatever. The ladies so then everybody, all the smokers were outside. And even this was different from the last one. Because, I feel like the last time, yeah, we got smokers here, but golly, the last time I feel like they was just, anytime they had to have a house meeting to say, can y'all just not smoke weed as much? Like, can we just not smoke all the time? Michelet immediately goes upstairs. Stu is outside, and they're like, look, y'all don't even spend no time together. Now, what I find curious is, you guys are in a long distance relationship, meaning y'all see each other the least amount out of everybody else, and y'all are spending the least amount of time with each other. Interesting. When Michelet finally does come downstairs, the other guys are saying, hello, Stu is talking about how much he loves you and how much you want to work this out. And again, she can't take the compliment. She says, well, at least he's talking to somebody. He can't do anything right. I don't understand. Then the ladies go off and they're talking, and Bianca's, talking about, how she don't understand how he could think she was lying. You know, that they went to the doctor together, they took the test together. And Jocelyn, in true hood rat fashion, honey, because Jocelyn was like, I know that trick because I done played it a time or two. Jocelyn hit her with the, well, did you ever lie about being pregnant? And she was like, no, I didn't lie. No, I didn't lie. So the two of them again, Chosen is with the guys basically, and basically what he's saying is, I just don't know if this can work. Like, I don't want to work this hard, and like, I don't know if this can work. The ladies are talking to Bianca, and what they basically telling Bianca is, you have to figure out a way to love yourself. Like, you are putting more into this than you are putting into yourself. Not in the same way that CeeLo was saying it, like, I love you more than I love myself. Not in the same way, but just from that same and that mindset of, you're putting him before you, and it's not healthy for y'all situation. Then they did the song challenge where they had to write a song using their number one gripe, so the communication, past, fighting, trust, all of that. I'm not going to go blow by blow, line by line. Suffice to say, everybody did a good job. I actually enjoyed, and Jocelyn put a hook on her song, and she did it in Spanish. I said, okay, Jocelyn, I see you, girl. I see you, girl. Even Shawnee, who was, of course, intimidated to go against CeeLo, because, you know, CeeLo is the GOAT. But even the first line, the rest of it wasn't all that great, but the first line she delivered, she said, let me do this. Let me turn around and do this with my back to you so you know what it looks like if I ever left you. I said, oh! So, like, everybody did a good job with the song, you know, with the melody. Even Chef Stu, who was like, I ain't never wrote a rap before, but I think he even did a pretty good job. So everybody did pretty good. It was cute. It was fun. You definitely can tell that you got some lyricists there. You definitely can tell you have people that are in music, you know, there. Even, you know, Bianca and Chosen, you know, they doing that 2020 mumble rap shit, but they still put something together that was decent. You know what I'm saying? So then after that, they did the jury of your peers. Am I going too fast? Did I miss something? I don't think I missed nothing important. They did the jury of your peers where they had, you know, Lentola come through. Oh, yes, I did. Rewind. Yes, I did. Jocelyn nasty hood rat ass. Out of the clear blue, out of left field, ain't nobody asked her. Nobody cared to know. Mentioned the fact that Ballistic has never given her head. Now, that's a problem for a lot of reasons. Problem number one, how you ain't never give her head before? He was like, once again, you're not going to tell me what to do. Like, you're not going to tell me, come eat my, He was like, do I say that about you, you know, you sucking me off? Like, I don't make you do it. You do it because you want to do it. Like, if you would let me just go with the flow, then it's going to happen. So then she gets up on top of the table and proceeds to talk about, and I'm sure it was edited because it didn't even make sense. It was just out of context. She proceeds to talk about standing over top of a woman and pissing on her. I'm like, what? So then Ballistic starts talking about the disrespect. Why are you disrespecting me? Why the disrespect? Why would you do this to me? Why would you do that to me? But then next thing you know, they kissing and hugging. And I want to say it was CeeLo's fiance. I want to say it was Shawnee that basically said, at the end of the day, Ballistic like it. I think, you know, at the end of the day, he like it. So then we get the Lentola, and they do a jury of your peers. And I want to focus on the Miss Chalet piece of it. Miss Chalet, it's the same thing. If y'all watched R&B Divas when Miss Chalet was on there, it's really the same situation. Miss Chalet cannot accept the fact that she is beautiful. She cannot accept the fact that a man would want to be with her. She cannot accept the fact that she deserves love. And she was in counseling, and I thought she was working through that. But the problem is, until you get to a point where you can accept love and you can accept the fact that somebody loves you, he keeps telling you. She said he finds Jocelyn beautiful. He looks at you all the time. And Jocelyn was like, okay. And he was like, whoa, wait a minute. He said, you're beautiful. I find you beautiful. She said, well, I'm just not his type. He was like, why am I with you then? If you're not my type, why am I here? Miss Chalet, I don't know what it is you want from this man. Now I know they advertise that one of these couples ain't really together, and if I had to vote, it would be the two of them because there's just nothing there, and I don't understand the whole you don't really want me, you don't really want to be with me. Like I don't even get that whole mindset, and I don't care. I don't understand why she keeps pushing him off. And he said at the end, he said we right back where we started. We're on that Pawn Star. Because, of course, Dr. Ish gave him the broken record and said, as long as y'all blame it, it's a broken record, da da da. And he said, so we did this whole exercise today, and we're right back where we started with her pawning me off on somebody. So anyway, child. So that's what it was. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.